you. I don't think I have to say anything after you've heard the remarkable stories of these Beatty Arts alumni, and it is just wonderful. And thank you, Journey. And thank all of the co-sponsors of this evening, most of whom are our board members. It's my favorite event because all I have to do is show up and be made happy by what is going on with these young people. So I thank them very much for this, again, 23rd year and a very successful event that's possible because you are here, and we thank you all for being here. I also want to just thank the 5 remarkable young people you're going to meet tonight. It just keeps making me renewed to understand that we are creating new leaders, new future Mandelas and Martin Luther Kings and Rosa Parks, and I have no doubt that we're going to get some of them out of this. I also want to just thank the CDF-California staff and to announce, in one sense with great sadness, but gratitude, that Kim Brett-Schneider, who's been with CDF from the beginning as an intern when she was very young, 11 years ago, and who came out to California and who worked her way up the leadership chain to head CDF California, is going to move back to New York, where we're going to work very hard to keep her in the CDF family in New York, and we wish her a safe transition. But thank you very much, Kim, for your service, and Joanna Flores, who has been our Beat the Odds coordinator here in Los Angeles, is also going to go to New York, and we're going to struggle to keep her in the CDF family too. But we're just very grateful for all their service and for the extraordinary gifts of leadership of so many of our CDF California staff. I went out to visit some of the Freedom Schools, but I'm just particularly, we have 19 here in California. We have 185 nationally, and we're going to have 300, I hope, in the next few years. But I was particularly moved by the Freedom Schools and the juvenile detention facilities. You have the largest number of children in Los Angeles County in secure detention, and the Freedom Schools were a smashing success thanks to the work of CDF board members and the education of the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors, Mark Ridley Thomas and Zev Yarosleski, and the Chief of Probation, who is here tonight with us. And it was a joint effort, and we are a wonderful superintendent of education. But at any rate, we served 154 young people in detention, and it was a remarkable thing. They not only learned how to read more and get involved in reading extraordinary books, but we had a huge decrease in suspensions and fights. It was wonderful, and I hope that one of these days you'll look at that video because it's inspiring, and we look forward to making Los Angeles County the model juvenile detention facility in this country, and we can do that. We can change it. I want to just acknowledge very quickly, we have many wonderful people here tonight, but Kamala Harris has just come in. You're a wonderful Attorney General. And we have Senator Al Franken from Minnesota. We are very happy to have him. And we appreciate both their leaderships here in the state and nationally. And we've got to get our work done. You've heard Journey talk about the things that have happened over the last 40 years. I thought I'd be out of business by now. We tell the country what's right to do and what's cost-effective to do, and we're still dumb. We're not doing what we should do, but we've had great progress. And she named that off, and I will not repeat it, but I think we are now faced with the second decade of the 21st century, which is absolutely crucial for the children's movement and for the nation. And as poverty and child poverty has resurged, and hunger and homelessness are tramping across the land, we haven't yet fully recovered from a prolonged recession and jobless recovery with near record levels of wealth and income inequality, and it is disgraceful that we've got over 16 million poor children, about half of them in extreme poverty. So we've got to build a movement. The greatest work lies ahead of us, but we can, building on the leadership of these young people and the support of those of you who are here tonight, really force our nation to make new choices and to really begin to make strides forward so that we can make America America. We must not move backwards, and I'm very worried that we're slipping backwards toward a second post-Reconstruction era with the voter suppression, with the miseducation, with 66% of our 4th and 8th graders unable to read at grade level, and 80% of our Black and Latino children unable to read at grade level, and dropping out of school because children who cannot read or compute in this globalizing economy are going to be sentenced to social economic death. And look at the waste, look at the gifts that we're throwing away. And we've got to turn this around. And we do not have, as I constantly say, we have no money problem. We have the largest economy in the world, and how is it that we can let 16 million children go poor? And we've got to change it, and we will change it. And we're going to build a transforming movement with the help of people like you. And so I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support, and for being here, and for coming to be inspired, and for inspiring these young people with your support. And I want to just end by acknowledging the passing of an extraordinary, great human being tonight, Nelson Mandela. He talk about hard, talk about beat the odds. And here's a man who went through extraordinary hardship, spent 27 years in Robbins Island under the most harsh conditions, walked out ramrod straight, unbowed, and full of a spirit of reconciliation, and went on to lead his country as president and to transform the way in which we viewed leadership and to overcome apartheid. And he was one of our great human beings. And if he could do what he did in abolishing apartheid and bringing about reconciliation in his nation, we can do what we have got to do to end racism and poverty in America and to break up the cradle to prison pipeline. And I hope one thing we will get done before this president leaves office. He has proposed a $90 billion mandatory investment in long overdue early childhood education. And I hope we will lay that foundation, which is the most cost-effective investment we could make. It's the most important poverty prevention measure we could make, and getting our children ready for school. The foundation in those early years is going to determine the education process thereafter and our high school graduation rates. Let's make that happen together. And I'm looking forward to working with you to build the next, more powerful movement to make America #1 rather than an underdeveloped country still in the protection of our country. It's just dumb not to create more gifted young people like this. So thank you for being here.